all the team of this innovative summit, and especially the chairman, Dr. Rajan and Dr. Emmanuel. I'm very honored and privileged to be a member of the advisory board committee of the summit and to have this great opportunity to deliver a keynote address and keynote speech on the topic harnessing creative climate solutions, which is an alarming issue nowadays. I'm STEM instructor, researcher, international speaker and author. Currently, I'm CEO and STEM instructor of the Greek Astronomy Space Company, Annex of Salamis, and also I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation. So why entrepreneurs are needed to mitigate climate change? Undoubtedly, entrepreneurs can be a powerful force against climate change. They can do this by bringing ideas into practice, introducing innovation, fulfilling consumer demand, creating demand for sustainability, and changing habits and cultures. Because the harm caused by climate change due to high emissions greatly outweighs the profits gained through high emissions. And the biggest challenge for climate activists is that many people do not see climate change as a serious threat or see it as a far-off event. So if all the ice at the poles and on mountaintops were to melt, the sea level would rise by 216 feet. This is enough to submerge 15 floors of a building. So why we should focus on purpose-driven ecosystems? Frameworks like environmental social governance, it's a framework used to assess organizations' business practices, and also the UN Sustainable Development Goals have been adopted by many big corporations, nations and non-profits, and they have also created an urgency for investors to seek investments that support these frameworks. We know that startups and venture capitalists are adopting these frameworks as well, and we now see startups that actually have adopted these goals which guide their vision. But we know that making this mindset shift towards investment and purpose-driven company building is not straightforward, because many investors still view impact investing as a not-for-profit exercise and choose to divide high-growth financial investments and purpose-driven investment. To change this, we need to build purpose-driven entrepreneurial ecosystems that will provide not only capital but also mentors, policies, and initiatives to connect investors and entrepreneurs with each other to share knowledge, experience, and most importantly, create a different mindset within the ecosystem. One initiative that supports this is the Innovative Funds for Our Future Challenge, which was launched by the World Economic Forum Open Innovation Platform Uplink. This platform brings together venture capitalists who are keen to invest in purpose-driven startups that accelerate progress towards sustainable development goals. So this platform allows like-minded venture capitalists to connect with a thriving community of global and high-impact entrepreneurs working in areas such as restoration, conservation of nature, improving the health of the ocean, climate action, etc. So all these initiatives could help to create a global mission-driven entrepreneurial ecosystems in different parts of the world. So what are the factors that actually drive sustainable business practices? Going greener can have many motivating factors. We talk about internal drivers, first of all. We talk about organizational benefits. You could see improved working conditions, safety, and efficiency. Financial benefits, because you can get tax incentives, government grants, and the previously mentioned environmental social governance investors. People benefits because by creating a sustainable environment, we're more likely to see improved ethical behavior from our employees. So our team can take inspiration from initiatives at work and apply them to their personal lives. On the other hand, external drivers include all these commercial benefits, because it can help us market ourselves and appeal to consumers who care about sustainability. Of course, environmental benefits. The UN has targeted net zero, so we can reduce our carbon emissions, help the planet, and provide a more sustainable future for the next generation. And communication benefits, because our eco-friendly image can make a lasting impression on potential customers and suppliers. How Can entrepreneurs fight climate change? What are recommendations? First of all, they need to develop an interest in sustainability. Entrepreneurs can demand a change in their supply chain. For example, Apple has pledged that its products and supply chain will be 100% carbon neutral by 2030. This is likely to encourage, of course, competition among Apple suppliers to become more ecologically responsible. Entrepreneurs and major organizations can have an impact on the fight against climate change if they take this kind of action. Enter the second recommendation to put concept into practice. Governments cannot face the task of combating climate change on their own due to the limited capacity. However, they can impose stronger restrictions and offer incentives for environmental sustainability. So if businesses collaborate, it will be considerably simpler to mitigate climate change. Solar energy, wind power, remote working tools, emission reduction technologies exist, and entrepreneurs make them a reality. The other keyword is innovation, because startups, for example, are in ideal position to innovate because they're tiny, they have an open culture, in contrast to governments and major organizations that require time to approve new initiatives. Already, entrepreneurs contribute to climate action, and one area is electric vehicles and the expansion of car and bike sharing system. Or we can mention with a plant-based meat and lab-grown meat, where companies such as Impossible Foods, all these companies have introduced innovation to the food industry. And it's important, of course, to take a look at what the consumers want. The increasing customer demand for environmentally sustainable products will contribute and will continue into the future, of course. And according to research, 81% of global consumers believe that businesses should contribute to environmental improvement. By transitioning to sustainability-focused operations and products, startups and entrepreneurs can tap into and even promote the growth of this market. So if we make a sustainability our mission, when we're building a business from the ground up, or even if we have an established brand, it's important to incorporate sustainability into our company's mission. Create a concise declaration summarizing our sustainability goals. Green business certification often requires companies to have an overarching mission statement governing their sustainability practices. Core values help our team organize our efforts around the central goal, and they distill and clarify the priorities, formalize a company's commitment to the environment. So it's important to write a mission statement for our green business practices, collaborate with our decision makers, include why sustainability is essential to a company, write down specific goals, a list of priorities, and tangible actions that we should use to get there. And finally, include a vision for the future and define how we will measure success. Second important thing is create a green product. Create an eco-friendly product by design. When we do so, we need to prioritize sustainable materials. So as we select materials, we should consider whether they share certain characteristics, like if they are sourced sustainably, source products from manufacturers that have enacted ethical, environmentally friendly practices. What we call fair trade, we should look for supplies and materials with fair trade certifications, and if they are recyclable, if they are renewable, biodegradable, and if they are locally sourced, and if they are reusable. Another important recommendation is to consider our back office. All the principles that apply to manufacturing sustainable products or constructing sustainable buildings should also apply to our office. Our office should work to be energy efficient and reduce its waste generation. Accomplishing this goal can involve both specific policies and employee support. For example, outfitting our facility with recycling bins. It's a smart first step, but it helps remind our employees to use them and instruct our staff on what materials can and can't recycle. And if possible, we can go paperless or reduce the paper documents or office print. So use also energy efficient computers and office equipment. So needed to educate and train our staff also is crucial, and give back. Charitable giving can be a crucial part of our sustainable strategies. For example, when a company donates unused items to the community, we prevent them from entering a landfill. Monetary charitable donations or team volunteering opportunities can also be a part of this sustainability mission. A company might work with non-profit organizations that support environmental conservation. And this is also very important, as well as to reassess our supply chain. We'll find opportunities where we can create a positive effect on the environment through assessment. Some aspects are, first of all, to assess the material sourcing, source only the amount of material that we need to avoid waste, the energy utilization, use renewable energy sources, save energy where not required, warehousing, use shared warehousing spaces so that cooling and energy facilities are shared rather than exclusive, packaging, delivery, and of course, eliminate, as I said before, paper usage, and operate from, I forgot to say this, operate from a hybrid model, work from home, because working from home has become a more viable option for employees in the past few years. With online migration, reports say that working from home office 4 days a week can actually reduce nitrogen dioxide emissions by around 10%. So travel has become far less commonplace with growing technologies in the online office. So we can give our team the option to work from home or even a hybrid model benefits the planet also. Partnership with non-profit organizations I mentioned before, because research says that 40% of customers would choose brands that have environmentally sustainable practice. So partnering with non-governmental organizations or non-profits has a lasting impact on our brand and the planet. So investing in green projects, developing recycle programs, recycle donate office agreements, all these are some sustainable business practices. And what companies could be, what type of companies are eco-friendly? Can give you some ideas. We can talk about eco-refile businesses or some environmental publications or green finance or eco-friendly retail, sustainable construction materials, organic catering, eco-friendly landscaping or stationery, bicycle repairing, handmade organic products, green housekeeping services, upcycle furniture, green franchises, green consulting, solar panel installation, many ideas that we can leverage, reusable, of course, plastic bottles, and in many cases, local eco-friendly recycling businesses. All of these are amazing ideas. And the second part now, I wanted to mention about the key role that policy entrepreneurs play in climate policy, because policy entrepreneurs work over long periods of time to create political windows of opportunity, what we call tortuous entrepreneurs. And there are the other category of policy entrepreneurs, we call them carpe diem. They are those who take advantage of policy windows when they emerge. So policy entrepreneurs, especially talk about Europe, European Union carbon capture and storage, work over several years to highlight climate energy and the need for swift action. So we need to strengthen rules and standards. And we need to update the rules governing financial markets to direct private investment to green activities and curtail investment in harmful ones. Policymakers also need to invest, to make investments in what we call climate justice and reforestation, which will yield far-reaching returns. Navigating these issues and delivering investment at the necessary scale will require, of course, strategic coordination across all areas of social, environmental, fiscal, monetary, industrial policymaking. And more must be done to provide sufficient fiscal space for countries to pursue their own domestic decarbonization adaptation agendas. I'm telling all this because in the European Union, there are many complaints that we have harder tax measures, and all legislation must be renewed and must be updated. So in Europe, there is a European Green Deal. It's a set of policy initiatives in order to make the European Union climate neutral in 2050. There is a Entrepreneurship 2020 Action Plan
The main objective of the European Commission is, first of all, proper education for entrepreneurs that should be made widely available in current education systems. And this includes not only sharing ideas, knowledge, and experience, but also exchanging best practices among different nations, companies, and business owners. And the European Commission also gives access to practical experience through developing models and projects with a focus on European Union standards. Moreover, the removing, as I said before, existing administrative and bureaucratic obstacles is another crucial target, because we need to make it by making entrepreneurship more accessible and affordable. For example, through increased availability of funding, lawmakers hope to attract risk takers from all over the world. And of course, prepare to build a truly entrepreneurial culture. Entrepreneurs should become role models we talk about Europe, European citizens, and include women, single migrants, unemployed young people as potential future business owners. So in order to be seriously competitive at the national level, a focus on the digital age also is considered. During the COVID pandemic, had in Europe the venture funding program, which offered a support package for innovative climate impact ventures, whose business have been impacted by the pandemic crisis. And there was also a parallel call, the extraordinary post-COVID generation call 2020, that has already been launched to support innovation programs. This initiative is a part of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, with 60 million additional funding in order to power innovations in health, climate change, and urban mobility and other fields. And let's not forget also the role of women in climate entrepreneurship. We all know about the challenges of women, so how we can address the gender disparity through incubators and accelerators, because many startups fail at initial stages. So incubators and accelerators can provide mentoring, resources, space, networking opportunities, access to capital. And women often lack the networking opportunities. We all know about this. They lack confidence, they lack funding. Joining accelerator programs can allow them to meet the key stakeholders. The second one is a drive to recruit women in the tech and green sectors. If the green tech sector employs more women, this will help them build experience and confidence to start their own business. And appoint more women to the boards of venture capital firms and banks. Female participants get advice from experienced board members this way, helping them in developing their board profiles and important networking opportunities. So, climate justice, as I said before, we need frameworks that aim to help companies genuinely interested in climate justice identify where they can most effectively mitigate climate-related risks to people and add real value to the company, its consumers and shareholders, and the communities where they operate. Committees must expand to encompass climate justice, vast opportunity for businesses to help lead the way in partnership with the governments, of course, civil society. So before concluding, I want to say that, of course, integrating our understanding of climate change into our life will require a developed set of soft skills, such as open-mindedness, empathy, negotiation, conflict management. We need a self-reflection to examine why our views may be wrong or out of date. And these soft skills will go a long way toward enhancing our discussions at work around how to play a positive role in fighting climate change. So adopting more sustainable business practices are simple ways to make a lasting impact by transforming our organization. By transforming organizations, we can see outside investment, a better recognition. We can become a leader in our community for fighting climate change, because small steps can lead to tremendous result. And of course, there is no one size fits all approach, and all these practices I mentioned are just recommendations. So get started, share ideas, include your team in the strategy, and see what works best for you. Through trial and error, we can customize and set goals and striving for a better planet. And regardless of your business type, you have a role to play in fighting climate change. With a more significant push for net zero, you have a unique challenge to care for the planet and for future generations. Thank you very much for your attention and for this great opportunity.